today's video I'm going to report my new Miltoniopsis Benito Que. As you have seen, she had a snail in the pot, and I can see the medium. It's not good at all. I cannot see any alive roots, and I really hope I will find something alive there, but for the moment the only thing that I am finding alive are snails, so that is not good. This orchid is very badly infested with snails, and when you are purchasing an orchid, and not just on Miltoniopsis, any type of orchid that you cannot see any alive roots and it is full of snails, you should report it immediately, and you shouldn't wait for the blooms to fade, because as you can see the blooms are amazing and it's very easily to get catched by them and to feel sorry to cut the spikes, but you first should report the orchid, see what it is inside, and after that make a decision if you keep the spikes or not, because well, if the orchid doesn't have any roots and she has snails, well, any new roots that the orchid may produce will get munched again. And I am seeing again another snail here. Why doesn't my camera want to focus these days? I don't know. Anyway, so she's very badly infected. I will try to remove as gently as possible this medium. So we can see this orchid has been potted in pure peat moss with a big ball of sphagnum moss in the middle of the root ball, and as I suspected, the roots don't seem alive, but at this stage I cannot properly assess their health until I properly clean the root system, and I will do that. I will go to the sink and I will shower the root system as best as I can, so I can remove all this peat moss from the roots, and after the roots will be soaked in water, I will have a better chance to see which are mushy and dead and which are alive. And right now I am extremely happy. Do you see this? Here I have a tiny root that was climbing up, and I will remove this shit later after I spray everything with hydrogen peroxide. One single root, it is enough to bring this orchid back to health. Okay, so I have cleaned as best as I could my orchid, and now it is time to cut the dead roots. But first I want to sterilize my scissors. They have I kept them in alcohol, and I will flame them. Like so. And the way to see if an orchid roots are alive or dead, it is by gently pressing on them, and if the root seems mushy, or if a string is remaining behind, like this one here, that means that root is dead. guys, so this is pretty much all I will do for now. As you can see, I have a whole mass of roots here that were dead, and these ones here are still stiff, but to be pretty honest, I am not 100% sure they're alive or they're dead, so I will keep them. I also need to shower this orchid once again because I have some medium still left that is quite attached to the rhizome, so with water it should flush out. And also I will take this sheet from here to make some room for that new root. It might want to go down into the medium, we don't know, but we do want to make sure that it can develop properly. And I can see here some roots that have been recently pushed from the rhizome and they have been munched, and that means this orchid is in active growing. So I will shower again the orchid, and after that I will come back to spray it with hydrogen peroxide 3%, which will kill any snails or snail eggs or any sort of fungus that may be on this orchid root system. Okay, so now it is much better. As you can see, I don't have that peat moss attached to the rhizome. And we will spray it with hydrogen peroxide 3%. And I will make sure to spray in between the pseudobulbs and in between the leaves also, because snails or snail eggs or even slugs can hide there too. And now I will let my orchid fizz for about 3 minutes. And I will pot this orchid in semi-hydroponics. This is a pot that is 1.6 liters. Okay, and we will do 2 holes on the sides of the pot. And in semi-hydroponics you want to have a reservoir of about 4 centimeters on the bottom of the pot. So I will do 2 holes here, like so. And this is pretty much all. This was actually a decorative container for orchid. For this orchid I will use about 50% Leca and 50% Seramis. And because she doesn't have a huge root system, I will place about 3/4 of this pot. I will fill this pot with about 3/4. About this is enough. And now I will gently take my orchid and place it here in the pot. I want to put the oldest pseudobulb as close to the pot as possible, so I leave as much space for new growth as I can. And now I will make sure to fill up the pot. So as you can see on the top of the pot, I do not have any more Seramis, and this is because I have simply finished it. I will adjust the height of the orchid inside the pot. We don't want to rot any pseudobulbs. And also I will place the stakes back, because I will not cut at this moment the flower spikes. The orchid has some roots and I am really curious to see how she will fare with all the repotting, and if I see the pseudobulbs getting shriveled, I will cut off the spikes, but at least for a few days I will keep them on. So when you are placing a flower stake inside the pot, don't just push it down, but rather try to gently rotate the flower spike, because that way if it meets with any roots, the tip of the flower spike will push away the roots and won't punch into them and won't hurt your orchid. So I will do that. And as you can see, this is pretty much all. The blooms won't fade on Miltoniopsis when you repot them, or at least usually they won't fade after you repot them, but for sure the life of the blooms will be shortened by repotting it. And as you can see, my bulbs aren't buried inside the medium, they are looking quite good. And now I will take you along to see how I water this orchid. Okay, so to water an orchid that is in semi-hydro, you simply need to put it under the sink. Let the water flush out through the pot. And you do that until the pot is filled with water. So now it can simply drain out, and this is pretty much all. When when the reservoir of the pot will get empty, I will water again the orchid. As simple as that. So alright guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if this is the first time you are watching a video on my channel, please consider subscribing to it so you can stay up to date with all my orchid videos. Thank you for watching, and see you all next time.